This is a loadout you're going to be striving for if you can't afford corruption as well as chest breakers. Swap them out for some more tapping or damage enchants. But yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to another Pet Sim 99 video. Today I'm going to be going over everything new that they added in the new Easter event part 2 update, as well as I'll be going over a bunch of tips regarding boosts, enchants, etc. to help you progress as fast as possible throughout this event and get yourself tons of those huge gifts, as well as maybe even a few of the new Titanic gifts. Now, before I get into the video, if you enjoyed this video or find it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget, once we reach 40,000 subscribers, I'll be hosting a massive 100 plus Rainbow Huge Pet giveaway on Pet Sim 99. However, until then, I'll continue to give away at least 10 Rainbow Huge Pets every single video, and if you want a chance to win one of these huge pets, all the giveaway information will be in the description. Now, for those who watch me for my Bubblegum Simulator content, I am working on another hatching 1 million egg video for the new 100 million egg, and spoiler alert, I already made 2 absolutely insane hatches above 1 out of 20 million for each. So yeah, keep your eyes out for that video. It should be out probably in about a day or so. And then also, for those who are interested in diamond methods, so far from looking at this update, it doesn't seem like there's going to be a really insane diamond method once again. So obviously deflation is going to continue, but that also means I might not be uploading a diamond method this week for this update. And I am excited for next week to get a fully fresh update and hopefully have some really insane free-to-play diamond method and huge methods. But with that being said, let's get into the video. Okay, so before I get into all of the free-to-play stuff, I do want to quickly talk about what they added in the exclusive shop. I am kind of happy they didn't really go too pay-to-win with this update compared to the part 1 where they added in a whole new subscription service and everything, but they did add a new card pack for some reason. I'm really shocked that they decided to do that instead of adding another egg. We got a new Titanic anime card here. You obviously need a few of these to actually craft the Titanic, and then there is a new huge as well as 3 new exclusives, and they also surprisingly but thankfully added a few new hoverboards. I'm not really a fan of these, but we did need a refresh of the hoverboard, so that is pretty cool. And then they refreshed the Forever Pack, obviously adding some new boosters for part 2 of this event with the Easter chest, which I will be going over in a little bit, as well as a new Titanic Sea Dragon card and a huge Sea Dragon card. I'm not really sure what the point of this is when you can get the actual full Sea Dragon and huge Sea Dragon, but that's whatever. As well as obviously the anime pack you can also get from the Forever Pack now. So there's a lot of stuff in the Forever Pack, so I'm not sure whether it might be a lot more profitable to actually buy this now. And I think I did see them say something about lowering the price of the Forever Pack at some point. Not sure if it already took effect, but you could start getting more bang for your buck when it comes to the Forever Pack. So I'm going to keep my eye on that for a little bit, and I might do a Forever Pack opening video, but we'll see. So with that being said, it's time to move on to every other feature that they added, and obviously most of it is going to be located inside of the new Easter event world. So if you played the last event, you probably already progressed your way through the first 5 worlds here. Now, before I go to the last world, the Easter basket in area 5 is still here, and you can still get each of the eggs, especially the lucky Easter eggs, which you can use to actually increase the chance of getting the new huge pet from the final egg, which I'll be showing you in a second. So keep that in mind. If you want to increase your chances of hatching this huge pet by quite a bit, definitely use your lucky eggs as you are playing this event and increase your luck. Now, I've grinded the big chest for a while and haven't even gotten a single lucky egg. I think the only way to get them is going to be from breaking the normal breakables. Don't take my word for that 100%, but I'm pretty sure you can't get them from the chest. All right, so moving on to the final and new event area here. Part 2 of this event is a little different. We have, instead of a bunch of small breakables, 1 big chest as well as a chest level, and you get points every time you break the chest. This is kind of similar to the Tycoon event because there are upgrades that allow you to upgrade your chest level, obviously allowing them to drop more upgrade tokens as well as more points, but also making them a little harder. You can upgrade your chest damage as well as your egg level, which basically, as you upgrade it, unlocks more stat pets, also moving the stat pets forward, making them easier to get. And obviously, once you max out your egg, you'll get the best chance at the best stat pets, so that's going to be pretty important for your damage, as well as you can upgrade to get more points. You can upgrade the chest for better loot, as well as you can upgrade the chance that the chest is gold, rainbow, or shiny, which all increase the amount of points you get as well as the amount of upgrade tokens you get, but they do make it a bit harder, so it is kind of worthwhile to have those upgrades as well. I'll be going over which upgrades you should be focusing on in a little bit, but besides that, they also added in a new leaderboard. I'm pretty sure the leaderboard on the right and the leaderboard on the left have practically the same winners, except obviously from 5,000 to 11,000 you can also get a huge Easter golem. So I'm not really sure why they split it up like this, but obviously there's the new Titanic Easter golem. It looks kind of sick from the image. And then there's also the new huge Easter golem as well as the new pastel sock bear, which you can get from climbing the leaderboard. At this point, it's probably a bit too late to actually climb the leaderboard unless you're extremely pay to win, because I can definitely see that paying to win is giving a huge advantage to the top players here. Now, something that I do not like is that they do have a boost for for MVP players. I'm really not a huge fan of having to actually subscribe to a game to get a boost in an event to actually get on a leaderboard. I think that's a bit too pay to win in my opinion, because this is completely unobtainable unless you put money into the game. When it comes to like pay to win boosts and stuff, technically as a free-to-play player you can actually get these, but this, it is physically impossible to get unless you pay money into the game. And then besides that, they also did add a new heroic function. You have 10 uses every day. They refresh one at a time, as you can see on the timer. And every time you use it, the chest becomes 10 times harder to break. However, it does give you 50 times the points as well as 5 times the upgrade tokens. So if you're going to be using the heroic button, you're definitely going to want to wait for a rainbow, shiny, or gold chest first, just because they also give a point and token boost. And then with that being said, there's also 2 new gifts that are given to servers depending on where they stand for their total points. As I said, when you break a chest, you get points, and it actually goes to a server total point. And depending on how many points your server has, you will either get a huge Easter gift or a Titanic Easter gift. And obviously the Titanic gift is much more expensive compared to the huge gift because of the type of stuff it has in it. It has a Titanic as well as it has some cards, but it's definitely going to be tough to get on a Titanic Easter gift server unless you are grinding with a ton of pay to win players. And then besides that, they also did add a few new boosts. I'll be going over these in a minute, but you can get these from the forever pack, as well as you can also get them from these gifts if you are lucky. And I'm not sure if they drop from the chest, but I would assume there is a slight chance you can probably get some from the chest as well. It would only make sense to actually make this game a little more free to play friendly, but we'll see. And then the last huge thing that they added was the new egg hunt. There are 10 eggs around the map. Some are easy, some are medium, some are hard, and obviously these last 2 are quote unquote impossible. The lucky egg one was discovered, but it isn't actually like gettable right now. Eventually, I'm assuming people will discover how to get both of them and actually claim them. But right now, as I'm recording this, no one knows how to actually get the last 2, but I did upload a video on how to get the first 10. So if you're interested in that, definitely go check out that video. But by getting each egg, you are going to increase the amount of points that you're earning. So it's a pretty good boost, and it's definitely worth getting some of these eggs if you're going to be farming the event. Okay, so when it comes to this event, obviously the main goal is to be breaking this chest, and you want to break it as fast as you possibly can, meaning you want to do as much damage as you possibly can. So I'm going to go over every single tip and trick that I have to actually help you do a ton of damage on this chest and progress through this update as fast as possible. Now, one of the things I added in this update was obviously the upgrades. Now, when it comes to upgrades, you want to make sure you are upgrading the ones that are going to help you the most first. So in my opinion, the least effective ones are going to be more points and chest better loot. I'd be focusing on your chest level, your chest damage, as well as pretty much equally your egg level until you max out your egg level. And then also put a little bit into the gold and rainbow and shiny chest chance, because if you get a gold, rainbow, or shiny chest, it is going to help you quite a bit. So using some upgrade tokens on these is not a horrible idea as well. But the chest better loot and more points upgrades, in my opinion, are going to be the last 2 upgrades you really want to focus on in this event. Okay, so starting off with enchant. Believe it or not, a lot of the enchants actually work, and your enchant loadout is probably going to look a little different depending on what you can actually afford. However, the ones that you definitely do not want to be using is a lot of these exclusive enchants like the boss lucky block, massive comet, etc. The ones that spawn things are not going to be useful at all, as well as just general ones that do not help with damage. So things like mini chest fortune as well as diamond enchants. Those are not going to be very useful because you don't really get diamonds for this chest. As well as treasure hunter, I also tested it out on the chest. It does not affect the drop rate of the upgrade tokens, so this is going to be extremely useless, especially for this event. And then lucky egg enchants, do not include this in your main loadout while you're AFKing, but if you're trying to get yourself a better stat pet, definitely include it in your loadout for a little bit. Once you get a decent stat pet, it's not worth wasting up to a couple enchant slots for the lucky egg enchants. So it's definitely useful for this event to help you hatch some better pets, but once you hatch the better pets, do not include this in your enchant loadout. And the same thing goes for rainbow eggs as well as shiny hunter. Now, like I said, the enchants that you want to focus on are damage enchants. Without a doubt, the things that you want to make sure you have 100% in your loadout are going to be 2 strong pet 10s as well as a criticals. As you can see, without the strong pets, my pets are doing about 7 to 8 million a hit. If I put on 2 strong pets, they're now doing around 9 to 15 million a hit. So the strong pets do increase your damage, as well as the criticals. If I put this on, you'll notice I get more criticals and they do a ton more damage. So yeah, criticals is definitely going to be useful as well. Now, this is where it's kind of up to you. I'll go over every enchant that is useful, and depending on what you can afford to actually put inside your loadout, put those in. I would definitely recommend, if you can get your hands on a corruption book, definitely include it in your loadout. But more importantly, if you can get your hands on 2 or 3 of these chestbreaker enchants, 100% include it in your loadout. Now, you could go ahead and try to get yourself the mega chestbreaker, but it's 5,000 Robux each and 5 billion each. So honestly, not even really worth it in my opinion. Definitely won't be buying it myself. I instead just like to use at least 3 of the chestbreaker enchants. And I know people say there's a threshold. Technically, there is a threshold, but it isn't a complete cutoff. So no matter what, every book you add is going to help increase your damage by at least a little bit. So as you can see, I'm doing about 11 million damage right now, but watch how much it increases with 3 more bucks added. Now I'm doing about 40 million at the minimum, so it does provide a massive boost. And then the other enchants that'll be useful if you can't afford the chest breaker and you can't afford the corruption are going to be Fruity as well as Happy Pets. I really do like Happy Pets. This does provide a really good attack speed boost, allowing your pets to hit the chest faster, as well as just overall tapping enchants. So definitely, if you can't afford a corruption as well as 2 or 3 chest breakers, then I would focus on using tapping enchants. So my enchant loadout is probably going to look a little similar to this with 2 tap powers added, but you can replace these chest breakers obviously with the Happy Pets if you can, as well as some other enchants that are going to help you do more damage while tapping. So obviously a tap teamwork definitely will not hurt, as well as a Fruity, and then maybe even something like a magic orb or something that can help output even more damage. So it doesn't have to be a nightmare orb, but even just a normal magic orb would work. Something like this would be great if you're going to be tapping while you're AFKing. Now you can do this in 2 ways. You can just have auto tap on and just stand in the area. So if you're even if you're auto hatching, once you start hatching, just walk into the area and auto tap will always be hitting the chest. Or if you don't have auto tap, all you have to do is start hatching, walk into the area, and then use an auto clicker to auto click the chest as you are hatching. An auto clicker will be linked in the description. But regardless, tapping is going to be extremely useful. So if you can tap, definitely use a loadout like this. If you're not able to tap, obviously tap power is going to be useless and tap teamwork is going to be useless. So I'd probably use something else that can increase your damage, like an exotic pet and maybe even a chest breaker, as well as some more magic orbs. But in the ideal world, this is the loadout I would be going for. I would definitely, without a doubt, include a corruption if you can, as well as 2 or 3 chest breakers and then tapping enchant. So this is what my enchant loadout is going to be looking like. It's up to you whether you want to use teamwork, Fruity, or Happy Pets. I think they're all equally as good, but everything else here is definitely really needed to actually do a ton of damage, especially if you're going to be tapping. And this is definitely the best enchant loadout that I can come up with in the event to help even out your damage, as well as tapping power to help do a ton more damage. As you can see, even just tapping, I'm doing a ton of damage, a couple 100 million each, and I'm not even close to getting the last stat pet yet, which I'll talk about in a little bit, and does contribute a ton to your damage. So yeah, overall in general, this is a loadout you're going to be striving for. If you can't afford corruption as well as chest breakers, swap them out for some more tapping or damage enchants, but overall your enchant loadout should be focused on damage, damage, damage. Okay, so moving on to boost. Now, because damage enchants do work, definitely use a damage potion as well as a cocktail for the extra added damage. These are both going to be pretty useful for this event. Every other boost is not really going to help except for maybe lucky eggs when you are hatching the egg to try to get some stat pets. But if you have the other boosts, I would definitely still use them because they definitely will not hurt to have. But definitely cocktails, damage, and then luck potions, if you need them while you're actually hatching, are going to be the 3 potions that are actually important to be using during this event. And then when it comes to the other boosts over here, the squeaky toy as well as the toy bone are going to be both pretty important. One allows your pet to attack faster, the other one allows you to deal more damage, and then the toy ball is not going to be as useful. It allows your pets to run fast, which honestly is not going to be useful for this event. And then auto eating your fruits is always pretty good. If you have the fruit mastery maxed out, just auto eat your fruits, but you really want to make sure you have some shiny apples or regular apples on because of that damage boost, as well as some rainbow fruits because of the damage boost as well. Now, I did mention there are some new Easter boosters. One of them increases your points, the other one increases your upgrade tokens when you're breaking the chest, and the last one instantly turns your chest into heroic. All these boosts are pretty OP. However, unfortunately, I don't think you can get them from the chest here. I haven't at least gotten one since I've been farming, but I know for a fact you can get them from the Easter gift and the Titanic gift, as well as the Forever pack. So it's going to be a little tough, and they are going to be pretty expensive for a little while until a lot of the gifts have been opened. But if you can get your hands on a few of these boosts, they're definitely going to help you during this event as well. Not necessarily with damage, but with points and upgrade tokens, which will allow you to complete your upgrades pretty fast. Now, in this event, flags also do work, though in my opinion, either a strength flag or a shiny flag is going to be useful. I prefer to use a shiny flag, honestly, but it's really up to you. But they do work and they do allow you to do more damage. So either strength flag or a shiny flag is going to be useful during this event. But unfortunately, sprinklers do not work, which kind of makes sense because this isn't a normal breakable area. That's basically all the boosts that you could be using to help yourself during this event. And it is time to move on to all of the pets. Okay, it's time to check my mailbox. Obviously, I checked the first half of my mailbox in my previous video where I showed you how to find the first 10 eggs. Now I'm going to open the rest of the gifts. If you're going to send me something, make sure you're sending something that you will not miss. But I really do appreciate everything that you guys send me, and they all go back into huges for the giveaways. So thank you very much. And if you do want to send me something, my username is loopedmuffin_RBF. Thank you very much, Mickey, for the mega loot chest. Thank you, King of Fox, for the huge Easter lamb. Thank you Pumpkin Danger for the huge ooze cat. Thank you Gabby Hart for the huge mining penguin. Thank you Sus Mom for the huge shadow dominus. Thank you very much. Thank you so much Samu Elijah for the 4 huge mining penguins, as well as the golden huge mining monkey, golden huge minecart hamster, and regular huge mining monkey. Thank you so much. Thank you very much Warrant Officer for the huge angry yeti. Thank you Makidax for the huge mining penguin. Thank you Vigo for the huge ooze axolotl. Thank you Cherry Boy for the huge mining monkey. Thank you Death Skull Got Deleted for the huge basket bunny, as well as thank you Guillermo Ronaldo for the huge mining penguin. Thank you Lonkeen Sophie for the huge mining monkey. And then I think I'm gonna stop here. There were honestly a lot more gifts than I expected, so I'll be opening the rest of the gifts in my next video, which will probably be a gift opening video in the next few days. But thank you to everyone who sent me mail, and I really do appreciate it a lot. Okay, so moving on to the last big thing that you can do to actually increase your damage during this event, which is going to be the pets. So when you're doing this event, you want to make sure you're using a really good team. Using a team of low tier exclusive pets or huges is ideal, but at the very least, you want to use some of the stat pets from the newest egg, because these are the only pets that are going to be doing a ton of damage for you. Now, obviously, you have to upgrade your egg using the upgrade to actually get better stat pets. So as you're progressing through this event, you want to make sure you are constantly doing that and getting yourself better and better stat pets, because they're going to contribute significantly to the amount of overall damage you're doing. And then if you are using a team of normal huge pets, honestly, I would just bite the bullet and upgrade to some golden huge pets. They're basically the same price, but if you didn't know, the variant of the huge does actually contribute to its damage. So golds are going to do more damage than normals, rainbows are going to do more damages than gold, and then obviously shinies do slightly less damage than rainbows, I'm pretty sure, but they also do more damage than gold. So try to use the best possible team that you can in order to help yourself do a ton of damage. And then if you are using huge pets, make sure in your charm slots you don't have them empty. You at least have some strength or royalty charms in them to help them do even more damage during this event. So yeah, that is pretty much everything you can do to help yourself progress through this event as fast as possible and do the most amount of damage. Now, in my opinion, this event is kind of boring. There isn't really much to do. There's not even a huge pet that you can get from breaking this chest. The only huge pet you can get is from AFK hatching, and from the exist count, it doesn't look too easy to hatch either. As well as the gifts that you get from playing only drop every 15 minutes. So honestly, from the looks of it, there doesn't seem to be a really good diamond making method unless you can get yourself in a Titanic Easter gift server. There isn't really going to be a way to make a ton of profit this event. If you guys do discover a way on how to actually make a ton of diamonds, definitely let me know down in the comments and I'll make a video on it crediting you from the comment. So it looks like I might not be uploading a diamond method video this week because there really isn't any easy diamond or huge method in this event. I really hope during the next event they make it a little more fun, especially for free-to-play players. Right now, all there really is to do is break the chest and grind for leaderboard, which you're not even going to get on if you start late or if you're not paying a little bit to get some of the boost. Because besides that, the only other thing there is obviously the previous Easter egg hunt that appears every like 30 minutes, as well as the Easter secret door, which honestly both are old content and not really that fun either. So I really hope they do a better job with the next update and make it a little more enjoyable. But overall, currently, I'm not really liking the way that the game is going. I really do hope they take notes from BGSI and start adding some more free-to-play, but also fun features for players. So with that all being said, once again, for BGSI players, I have a really insane 1 million egg hatch opening video coming very, very soon, where I already made 2 insane hatches. So definitely keep your eyes out for that video. But if you enjoyed this video or found it useful, don't forget to like and subscribe. And don't forget that once we reach 40,000 subscribers, we'll be hosting a massive 100+ rainbow huge pet giveaway on PetSim 99. But until then, I hope you all have an amazing day and good luck grinding. Congratulations to this user for being the first person to comment on my last PetSim 99 video with the Roblox username. You have won yourself a free rainbow huge pet. I do this kind of giveaways every single video, so if you want a chance to win yourself a free rainbow huge pet, make sure to turn on post notifications to be notified when I upload. It's time to roll the winners of the giveaway from my last PetSim 99 video. Since this video did not reach any of its like goals, I will only be giving away 10 rainbow huge pets. As always, usernames of all the winners will be shown on screen at the end of this time lapse. Congratulations to all of the winners.